Caution, the Mark Gungor Show contains adult content intended for an adult audience. And, besides that, he's really weird. Welcome to the Mark Gungor Show with international marriage speaker and author of Laugh Your Way to a Better Marriage, Mark Gungor. This is your source for practical, down-to-earth marriage advice without all the over-spiritualization or romantic nonsense. And now the host of the Mark Gungor Show, Mark Gungor.
Goes wild with delirious joy. They've joined the Mark Gungor Show, the show that deals with all things concerning
marriage.
Indeed, I'm your host, the one, the only, Mark Gungor. Joining me as always, the ever lovely and charming
That's me.
Diane Brierly.
That's me.
That's you. And of course, the amazing Philip James Gungor.
Namaste.
Engineering his show is always the very talented but eerily creepy Timothy Robert Ray. Engineering, pushing buttons, twisting knobs, trying to stay awake during this incomprehensibly, immeasurably boring show. This is the show that handles your marital challenges, relational conundrums, and dating dilemmas that you can email to us at askask@markgungor.com. What do you have for us today?
Phil and I matched today.
Well, I feel like
we're
unmatching. The TV kind of covers it up.
It does, because
like.
in real life, it's not really the same color blue, but on the screen, it looks almost exactly the same color blue.
Magic of TV?
But let's face
magic
it, the best-looking person here. What are you going to say? You don't even got to say it. It's just there.
I'm not saying anything.
What do you got?
And no one is saying it.
No one's saying it.
Not only are we not saying it,
no one is
saying it. Listen, there are millions and millions of people all over the world
not saying it
who do not watch this show. All right, what do you got?
Okay, continuing
we're still continuing.
on the best
the eternal,
yes,
the
best
eternal
marriage advice.
article.
But this is actually pretty good, I think.
All right, it has been good.
Okay, the next one.
It's a play on how marriage should be eternal.
Yes, it just like goes on and on
and on and on and on. Mm-hmm. Best marriage advice ever. We're on number 17.
Be patient with each other. Your spouse is always more important than your schedule.
That is true.
What are you looking for?
My Beatitudes book. It would be the perfect time for a commercial.
It would be.
But I don't have it with you because there's a whole section in my book on the Beatitudes of marriage. Be patient. Marriage is a dance that is perfected over time. The longer you work at something, the better you get at it. Mm-hmm. In theory.
In theory.
You know, the longer you practice a piano, the more likely you will be more skilled at that piano.
Mm-hmm. I took it as being patient, like actually being patient, not the waiting for your marriage to develop and to do this. I took it quit being impatient. You know, it's like, I have to get out the door. I have to do this. My work is more important. That's the way that I took
both work. It's just patience. Mm-hmm. It takes a while to work all this stuff out.
Because
and be patient with each other short term.
Y'all are real patient with each other when you're dating. And then suddenly when you get married, it's like, now work is more important. It wasn't that way when y'all were dating.
I don't know.
Facebook was more important.
I was born married.
Yes, you were.
So I don't know anything about this dating stuff.
Okay. No, you don't. Okay, the next one. Model the kind of marriage that will make your sons want to grow up to be good husbands and your daughters want to grow up to be good wives.
That would be really great. Mm-hmm. Sadly, a lot of people grow up.
That would be the ideal.
Their goal is, I don't want to be
That's exactly
like
right.
my parents.
Isn't that the truth?
I know, because Phil, I mean, clearly his whole life just wants to emulate everything that I do.
Want to be just like Dad, just like the old man. Actually, see, he's not saying anything.
He likes me
dressed this way.
One of the best, one of the kindest, most wonderful father moments in my life is he.
Wait. Should I get the tissue?
First,
do we have some music we could play behind this?
Actually, we need to get the tie just right to say this moment. He wrote a thing in high school. Basically, the story said, I want to be like my dad. Uh-huh. Which was very cool.
The best part of that story is I was in school suspension and I had to write that.
And he had to write it. That was the reason. See,
so it's kind of sucking up.
See,
still, hey, there's very few moments in life where you're getting praise for who you are. That was like one of my 3. So it was fabulous.
I've actually heard your son be quite complimentary of you.
There you go.
I have.
See?
I have.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Anyway.
He'll be great. He'll be great when I'm dead.
He'll give a great eulogy.
He was a good man. Mark was a good man. Whatever his name was.
What's his name? Yeah. Mm-hmm. The next one, be your spouse's biggest encourager, not his or her biggest critic. Be the one who wipes away their tears, not the one who causes them.
Yeah, in theory, but you got to really be both at some point.
Well, here's the brilliant idea. How about if you cause their tears, how about you be the one to wipe them away? I mean, because honestly, you're going to step on each other's toes, but then step up and it's like, say you're sorry and be the one to wipe their tears away. Don't let them go crawling off into the corner trying to figure out.
You don't want to be their greatest critic when they think, who's the one who disses me more than anybody else, and you think your wife or your husband. That's not good. On the other hand, the person closest to you will tend to be the one who will point out, maybe you shouldn't do that.
Yes. Because other people normally won't.
Yeah. So anyway, that's good enough. All right. Okay. We'll take a break and be back with your emails right after this.
Attend Mark's Laugh Your Way to a Better Marriage event. Visit laughyourway.com for upcoming dates and locations.
Here to talk to you about our Transition 1 program during this break. In Green Bay, we have started a new program called Transition 1. It's a gap year program for young people coming out of high school, taking off a year to put God first in their lives before they go running off to college. The Bible says, seek first the kingdom of God. Christians are terrible at this. We say we love Jesus, but as parents, we tell them, make sure you get this and make sure you have money. And then that's why so many people encourage their kids not to get married and wait. Because what we put first more than anything is the almighty dollar. And it is a mistake. It is a disaster. Having said all that, look, take time and put God first in your young people's life. Encourage them. Take a year off. Good grief. We have a huge failure rate of young people who leave high school and go into college and lose their faith, right? They give up on their faith, get caught in all kinds of stuff, sexual immorality and stuff. Why? Because they've never really had a chance to put their faith into action. All they're doing is living off your parents' faith and you keeping them busy in youth groups and stuff like that. They've never really had to stand on their own. A gap year program. There's many of them around the country, but we've just started our own. And these are popping up because people are realizing we've got a problem here. Slow down a bit. Right out of high school, put God first. Take 1 year of your academic year. Put God first in your life. In our program, we emphasize, while it's biblical, it's not a Bible school, but it's about how to succeed in life, how to make choices, how to serve, what life is really about, putting God first in your life. It's for 6 months, and then the last 3 months they serve overseas in some safe place, but it's someplace overseas where they get a chance to really see how people in other parts of the world, third world countries and whatnot, live. And you get a chance to serve and sweat and be uncomfortable, and there's not a McDonald's everywhere, and you can't be texting every 5 seconds. This is a good experience for your kids. They come back from this 1 year program. Their lives are forever changed. Their priorities are set. Now they can go forward with the rest of their lives. Put God first in your life. Check it out. Transition1.org. Transition1.org. We're back on the Mark Gungor Show. I am the Doctor of Love.
Sure you are.
Talking about marriage, love, and relationships. Answering your emails. I don't feel like answering your emails.
Now who's calling you?
I'm going to call one of my friends. Who should we call today? It's Mark Can't Focus for 2 Seconds show.
I thought you said you wanted to do shows today.
I did, but I lied. That was at the beginning. Who are these people?
We're South Africans.
South Africans. We're actually FaceTiming with a bunch of South Africans. Is that even legal?
Give us your questions, Mark.
It's hopeless, man. Everybody's too crazy. There he is, the bishop. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Dr. Gary Rivas. Rivas.
Uh-oh.
Oh, how you doing, man? Oh, you're getting away from your internet, I think. You're freezing up.
I'm fine. I can see you perfectly.
Well, I am perfect.
Oh, Gary, please.
You look terrible.
Are
It just froze. Come on. We lost the connection. Gary Rivas, he is a pastor. He's a Methodist bishop. A true man of God in South Africa. One of my dearest friends in the world. And apparently Africa doesn't have very good internet.
They don't. Well, at least I can say I know one true man of God. It's Gary.
Hey, you. Okay.
You trying to get him again? There.
Oh, he's calling back. We're going to try it one more time. That's what happens when you try and FaceTime across the world. There you are.
Better?
Yeah. Now sit still for a minute and quit moving.
I'm standing right still. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Very good, thank you.
The bishop. I was just telling everybody in the world about the bishop over there. So
is he aware of the fact that he's on
the Mark Gungor show? Yeah. Just don't say anything. Don't say anything obscene, Bishop.
You're actually on the air.
There are tens of millions of people who do not watch this show. Just so you know, there's like 3 or 4 that do. There's actually
sorry.
Go ahead. Our biggest audience actually is in South Africa, which is amazing to me. Mm-hmm. They actually.
But that makes a lot of sense, though.
Why is that?
Because we're just a great country.
Or you're so screwed up that you need all the help you can get. So you listen to people. You listen to people like me.
You have no idea.
How's the family?
The family are incredibly well, thank you. All very well.
Good. Hey, we love you and appreciate you, and we're looking forward to coming back to South Africa.
Oh man, we can't wait.
Yeah, you're getting ready to be what's the word? Not inducted. That's like the Hall of Fame.
It actually is inducted.
Is it inducted?
Commissioned.
No,
right?
he's being inducted as a bishop.
Yeah.
Yeah, just not inducted, not induced.
Yeah, I hate that. But anyway, all his friends are going to be there, and I'm not. It's too far to go.
Not through lack of trying.
I know. I would love to come, but I love you, but I don't love you that much. So anyway,
I know.
We'll get together soon.
What's 24 hours on a plane between friends?
Actually, I would do it. The problem is when you're doing this, it's like right in the middle of the holiday season. Right after Thanksgiving.
Exactly.
And my wife will kill me. She will kill me a slow death if I take off in the holidays.
It wasn't because you got so close to those elephants that you were here last time that you don't want to come again.
No, I love those elephants. We're great friends.
I mean,
we still take FaceTime with the elephants. That's how close we are.
They really liked you.
They did. Scared the snot out of me. Anyway, we love you guys. We love all of South Africa. Be well.
Thank you. Love your program. Love you guys.
Thanks, man. See you. Bye.
Cheers.
The Bishop, Gary Rivas.
Do you have plans to go back to South Africa to do events anytime soon?
No, I'll probably work with him to.
Several people have emailed asking
anyway.
when you're coming back. So
anyway, sorry about that, people. I was just wanting to say hi to my friend in South Africa, and we have so many people in South Africa. No, they do. We do. And Gary has a church outside of Johannesburg. I would tell you the name of the city, but I can't remember.
Because you really narrowed it down by saying it's somewhere outside of Johannesburg.
It's Grace Point Church.
Grace Point Church is the name of the church. And there's a town. I can't remember that. I can't even remember what town I live in.
That's not Rustenburg.
Huh?
Rustenburg.
I don't know. Is that what it is?
I don't know.
Well,
I'm asking you.
It's in a town.
It's in a town. That much. It is in South Africa somewhere.
I think it might be Rustenburg, but I'm not. Don't quote me.
Gary Rivas,
I've not been
Grace
to
Point
this
Church. Great guy. Anyway, wonderful friends there. All right, what do you got?
Okay.
Back to the show.
He says, husband writing, my wife wants a divorce. I told her I will not sign anything regarding divorce. My wife wants the divorce.
My wife wants, okay.
I feel like I cannot talk to anybody about this. As the older Christian, I feel I should not divorce. She's 22, he's 28. They've been married for 3 years, 2 kids, no infidelity. Sex isn't a problem. The wife just feels she is missing out on her life while she's young. She wants to study, be successful, live on her own. Her mother was divorced due to abuse, apparently. We don't have many friends that we can talk to. We were sexually active before marriage. He says, I feel sick in my soul about this, but your words have helped in the past, so please give your words with no feelings attached.
Okay, I don't know you, and I don't know your situation. A couple of red flags go up right away reading your email, which is we don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to tell anybody what's going on because we're supposed to be older Christians. Your problem, if that's in fact what you're doing, is that you're not telling anybody. The thing that badly behaving people need, in this case your wife, is no one knows. No one knows. You not telling everybody what's going on is creating a big problem for you. You need to tell everybody what's going on. Her family should know what's going on. Your church should know what's going on. Your pastor should know what's going on. Why? Because when her family and friends and everybody else finds out that suddenly 3 years, which is like nothing, into your marriage and after 2 children, she wants out, most people will confront her and try and find out what in the world is she talking about. She won't listen to you at this point. You know, seriously, guys, when your wife says, or your husband says, I want to divorce you, they're not really open to hearing what you have to say. So you coming up with, what can I say? You can't say anything. You need to bring in people from outside your world. You need to tell her family, her friends, her cousins, I don't care, everybody that, hey, Susie's wanting to get a divorce. And they'll all be shocked. Why? I don't know. She says she's missing out on stuff. We got the kids. We've only been married 3 years. We don't really have any big problems. Then everybody in their life can start speaking to them because they won't listen to you. You emailing me isn't going to do you any good other than hopefully you'll snap out of this. What's sad is there's a delay in this between the time the emails and this finally gets on the show and then they finally even see it being broadcast on the show. So who knows if he's even got anything left by the time he hears this advice. But all you people, that you got someone who's doing something that is really blatantly wrong, particularly as people of faith. This is a Christian family. Does your church know? You're going, no. Does your family know? No. I mean, you got all this stuff. My husband's looking at porn and dating women or whatever. Really, does your pastor know? No. Does his mom know? No, I haven't told anybody. Well, you people who do this are out of your ever-loving minds. Your silence is what makes you a co-conspirator in your own destruction. You have to tell people. I know everybody, especially in America, we can't tell anybody. We can't. Everybody's got, but it's not just America, South Africa. Everybody's got this problem. What it is pride.
They don't want anybody
pride
to know.
And ego, and they just don't want anybody to know their problems. Well, if you don't want anybody to know your problems, you're going to have problems. They're your problems. Your problems become your problems. If you share your problems, then they're not just your problems anymore. And now you can get people who can pray for and get involved and discuss, and your pastor can intervene, your friends. Honestly, I had a lady once who told me about her husband doing this real horrible thing, and I said, does he care what his family thinks? Oh, yeah. Oh, man, especially his mom. I said, have you told his mom what he's doing? Oh, no, I haven't. He'd really get upset. I said, you tell him. If you don't stop it, I'm telling your mama. I talked to her a few months later and said, how's it going? She says, it's never been better.
Yeah.
Because people they don't want anybody to know. And if your answer to your problems is secrecy and silence, they are your problems, you're making this worse, and you're never going to get out of this mess. You get off this island of secrecy, the cone of silence. What show was that from? Get Smart. The cone of silence. That's what these couples do. They put on the cone of silence, and no one knows our issues. Do you know how there will be thousands of churches across the world this Sunday? They will gather together, and they will find out that Bob and Susie are getting a divorce. And they'll all be amazed, and they'll be shocked. Do you know why? They didn't even know Bob and Susie were having any problems. Because we play this stupid game of silence. Do not be silent. You're in a bad situation. Your marriage is falling apart. You got someone who's doing something really stupid or destructive or mean. You tell everybody in your life. Your spouse will not like it, I guarantee you. But when everybody starts speaking into it, it calls them on it. They're the only ones who will listen. They won't listen to you. And I hope this helps you. All right, we'll take a break. We'll be back with more right after this.
Have a marriage dilemma? Email your questions to ask@markgungor.com, and Mark can answer them during one of our shows.
We are back on the Mark Gungor Show, talking about love, marriage, and relationships, taking your emails. What do you got?
Okay, she has 2 questions. The first question says, before my husband and I got married, he told me that he liked when girls look natural and that he prefers natural hair and no makeup.
When we were first married?
Yes, when they first got married. Huh? Okay. When I met him, I would do my hair and makeup every day, and I really enjoyed it. Since we've been together, I've completely stopped wearing foundation makeup, which he mostly hates, and on the average day, wear just light makeup, she says.
Okay.
I usually do my hair once or twice a week, only for an occasion. Anytime I do my hair or wear makeup more than usual, he comments or doesn't make any comments at all when I'm especially dressed up. I'll ask him if he thinks I look nice, and he'll say, well, I don't like your hair that way, and you're wearing too much makeup. I usually get upset, and we fight over this. She wants to know, am I overreacting, or should he keep his comments to himself? Should I completely stop wearing makeup and doing my hair, even though I really enjoy it? I feel like I've made huge compromises and rarely get ready as it is. I mean, get fixed up as it is.
Look, I don't have a problem with you interacting over these goofy things. What's absurd is that you get upset about it. Yeah. That's just dumb. What should you do? Do what you want to do. When you want to do something special for him, then look like,
the bag lady.
A bag lady. It's very odd that he would think this way.
I can't imagine anybody in my age and stage in life saying, no, I really like you better without the hair and makeup. It's like, wow, no.
Stick your head under a faucet and take a towel and rat your hair out and just, hey, baby, how you doing? Then fine. But beyond that, couples don't always agree on the way they look about stuff. My wife and I don't agree.
She's forever telling you, don't wear that.
Yeah, she does, all the time.
Don't wear that.
So I get to the point I don't ask her, because I know she'll disapprove. Then she'll get upset, how come you don't ask my opinion?
Because I don't want to hear it.
Because you disagree with everything I do. Because I tend to overdo it when I dress.
I hadn't noticed.
But people like it. Most people like it. Even you like it.
I do.
So I get dressed. I look like a Las Vegas magician half the time with some of these suits and stuff that I wear. People come to my seminars know what I'm talking about.
Oh, they think it's very fun.
And they get a kick out of it, You know who doesn't like it? The redhead, okay? So I just don't ask her anymore. In fact, I recently did a thing for the military. And she's always told me, don't do that with the military because they're going to think you're a wuss. These are men. Don't get all sparkly and stuff like that.
She thinks you should wear fatigues or something.
I don't know, but just tone it down. So I've listened to this for years. So the other night, I went out to Seattle to speak to a group of soldiers and their spouse. I always love doing that. And I looked at my wardrobe and I said, I'm going to grab this.
Sparkly.
I'm going sparkly. What do I care? So I throw it in and I, FaceTime before I go on. So she goes, oh, you're wearing that sparkly thing. They're going to take your West. Oh, they'll be fine. So we're already debating it, So I go out and all the comments I get from these guys, man, that is a cool suit. They dug it. They did. So I had to come back and gloat.
Of course you did.
His motto is be dazzled or be darned.
That's right. So of course you had to say. Loved it.
They loved it. See, leave me alone. Me and my sparkles. Leave us alone.
Sparkles. Yeah, my kerchief keeps falling. But so anyway, that's kind of the running joke. Anybody who's in our house, knows that this is what we do. So she's nice. I mean, she just doesn't agree. She doesn't have the same.
But you don't fight
fashion sense about it. I don't get into big. Now, if she doesn't want me to look like a Las Vegas magician, and I have to go with her somewhere, then I don't do that.
Don't do it
because I'm going to be with her. And when you want to be with each other and do stuff for each other, then fine. But just because your husband doesn't like it, but you like to because most women like to get dressed up. A few of us men
like to get dressed up. What does that say about you?
Is that from the Sigmund or the Freud?
What does that say about some of us men?
The sparkly men. The sparkly men.
The sparkly men who talk to soldiers. And everyone thinks he's a wuss. Anyway. So I, do what you do when you want to, you want to get dressed up and feel good and get your hair done and get the pretty makeup and look killer. You want to go out and be with your girlfriends and not in public, then do it. It's fine. But I wouldn't argue about it. And if when you do this and you say, what do you think? If you know he's going to diss you, don't ask him. It's like me. I generally don't come and say,
how do you like
babe,
it?
what do you think?
Because you know what the answer is.
Because I know she'll diss it. So one more I come in, I think Kirsty was there or something, and I come up with his shoes and everything, and they all loved it, And then I go to her, no, that's too much, And I said, seriously, my daughter-in-law likes it, and she's young and hip. So anyway, just differences of opinion are fine. Respect each other, love each other. If you know he's going to hate it, good grief, don't ask him. We'll be back.
Caution, The Mark Gungor Show contains adult content intended for an adult audience.
Oh, I don't know what to do. The music of Jimmy Bratcher. Actually, Jimmy Bratcher is the one who talked me into buying the stupid shirt. We were just talking about clothes and stuff like that. And Phil said, Chrissy has some suggestions. She knows these. The thing is, you go to some of these people, they're really expensive. Mm-hmm. What people don't know is a lot of clothes I wear, they're virtual costume jewelry.
Yeah.
I find places where you buy them, and they're really relatively cheap. Because I was spending a fortune on stuff. At one point, spent hundreds of dollars, upwards of almost $900 for one shirt. And they're all making fun of me. And Jimmy comes on singing. I said, it was Bratcher who talked to me. You know what? The rat.
What shirt was 9? You have to tell me later.
I'll have to go show you. It's enough to make you...
Oh, no. It'd send me into convulsions.
It's in like a glass enclosed case.
$900. You know how many clothes I could buy for $900? Because I am the queen of
for a lot of people.
Bargain shopping.
Look, I get it. And my wife would even say the same. On the other hand, we generate a fair amount of income, and I'm on radio and television performing with these people. So I would say I want to look really nice, and that's what these things were charging until I found these other places, like these shirts that I wear, the matching thing and the matching dealy bob, and actually this pattern you can't see it matches the pattern on the collar. I mean, they're really the whole thing $50.
Yeah,
Now it's not the most high quality stuff,
but it's only the flash. It's only the external appearance.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not lifting heavy boxes in this. I'm not. In fact, I usually wear these things about an hour at a time.
Yeah. And then
so it doesn't really matter. So I don't spend the crazy money on it. But I was for a while, and I blame Jimmy Bratcher for it.
Mm-hmm. Jimmy.
We love Jimmy. All right, what do you got?
Maybe he had stock in the company.
Actually, it was his friend.
Was it his buddy?
That's why. That's
gets commission on that.
I've done it more than once. I've had guys take me to their friends who tend to own these boutique, really expensive shows. They say, well, take Mark because Mark's an idiot, and he likes all this fancy stuff. And at the time I was, and even if a friend drags, I'll buy something, but they tend to be really expensive when, in fact, I generally don't do that. Some of these jackets can be a little pricey, but even then, I try to find fairly decent.
But if you keep them for a long time, you get the money out of them.
I do actually keep them for quite some time.
As long as you don't outgrow them.
What? Shut up.
I need to keep a tally of how many times he tells me to shut up during the course of a show.
She's been really out of control. The shoes.
The shoes are out of control.
Oh, that's a little out of control, although I bring that in, and those are expensive. It's hard to find cheap shoes that look really cool.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm confessing all my sins this morning on the.
Oh my gosh, Joey, you're the one that wanted to do shows.
Well, the lady, she wanted, she's talking about this thing, and my wife doesn't necessarily approve of my clothes choices and stuff like that, but she gets it. It's me, and people know me. It's just if I ask her what do you think, she'll say, I think it's too much, over the top.
Mm-hmm. Now, and some things are over the top.
When I'm with her, I don't try to over the top because she doesn't like it. Mm-hmm. So I just dress more simple, like this lady. Your husband likes you looking like a bag lady? Then look like a bag lady.
Like a bag lady for him.
And then you don't want to look like a bag lady? Get away from him and dress up.
Most ladies look like the bag ladies, and their husbands want them to look better.
Exactly right.
Mm-hmm. That's generally
the problem. But it's interesting, this show. There's always people who argue about something. Yeah. Just when you think that the world's ending because you look like a bag lady, and your husband's always because you look like a bag lady, wants you to dress. I don't want to dress up. Yeah. And then you got somebody, complete opposite argument.
Yeah.
But they argue nonetheless. People will argue about anything. Mm-hmm. And there you have it. What are we talking about?
Flag page. You want to do a flag page?
Flag page. Flagpage.com. Go to flagpage.com. It's a test that we have out there that helps people to understand who they are and how to communicate better. Flagpage.com. You'll like it. It's a fun little test. What's the question?
It's a lady writing. She says, I was so amazed at how helpful your flag page was for me and other loved ones that I had. And I had my 2 sons complete their flag pages.
Okay.
Of course, I wish I had known about this invaluable tool 10 years ago, as I discovered my youngest son is an off the Richter scale perfect child. Fun is his secondary country with a small score. Yes, he's very creative and musically gifted. Mm-hmm. He's 25 years old now and still struggling, trying to get it right and seemingly crippled when it comes to making decisions and committing. As a parent, is there anything I can do at this point to help him or something I could have done? She says she's off the scale fun, so maybe not as sensitive as I could have been. And his brother is a good balance between peace and fun. Neither of them live with me anymore, but we remain in constant contact. Just wondering if there's extra steps I can do to help him heal from the disappointments of his young life. Because I guess his biological father was absent, his stepdad left, they lost the family home because of bankruptcy, things like that. So he's kind of damaged now by those things.
That's one of the things about perfect-natured kids. You want to be really careful as you can around them, because a lot of them do bruise very easily. When you come from fun country, control country in particular, you don't really bruise that easily. No. In fact, you can bludgeon us. It doesn't seem to leave
it bounces off like Teflon.
Doesn't seem to leave an imprint. We're still fine. Perfect nature people tend to, but I wouldn't get too heavy about it. I mean, a lot of perfect nature people have stuff that they struggle with, and it messes with them. The great thing about the program that we're talking about, the flag page, is it helps you get a sense of these things, to understand who people are and how to better communicate. Here's what I would suggest. You can at least acknowledge the fact that your son is the way he is, and musicians tend to be very perfect-natured people. Some don't. I'm a musician. I'm not very perfect-natured at all. But my motivation, one of the greatest motivations for fun people is they just want to be noticed. Mm-hmm. So my motivation for learning to play and getting good to play
was, look at me.
Look what I can do. Mm-hmm. And to this day, I enjoy that. I like to sit down, but I am not a hardcore, perfect-natured musician. To get to that level is really difficult, and I just really never had any interest in it. What I am good enough, and I think pretty good, to what people go, wow, that's good.
Yeah. And you do your little razzle-dazzle and sit down, and everybody's like, ooh.
Yeah, well, that's
and
the thing.
Like that.
I love it. So I actually when I got to the point where I could dazzle somebody, then, okay, we're done here.
Mm-hmm. That's it. I'm good enough to dazzle. I can do a 30-second dazzle.
There's no reason to go on. So you have a son who's perfect-natured. They tend to be very sensitive, and perfect-natured people can, again, it either pulls them up or it pushes them down. And sometimes it does both. Their desire for perfection makes him a better musician, and they practice harder and they study harder and stuff. But they can tend to get really emotionally pushed down at times. Michelangelo, y'all know who Michelangelo was, right? Mm-hmm. The great artist. He was a perfect-natured person, and like a perfect-natured person, even he struggled with depression. Once he wrote in his diary, I feel I must be a great disappointment to God. Seriously. If you're a disappointment, then the rest of us gotta suck, all right? But that's perfect-natured people. So my advice to you, my dear mom, or anybody who has perfect-natured people or whatever, this really works for anybody, that they're the way they are, but they need to be something else. Because you'll see stuff. See, she's saying stuff, advice that I can give him and this. The best way to do it is to acknowledge who they are. In other words, I would come to a kid like this and say, listen, Bobby, you are a perfect-natured person. It's great. You're great at what you do. It's what people love about you. It's what makes you the special person that you are. So always be that way and cherish that. But my advice right now is you really ought to watch out for this because of this practical reason or that or whatever. Usually when you lead with this is who you are and you acknowledge who they are and you compliment who they are, you can ask them to be something else. Mm-hmm. It's like a kid who's always goofing around and yelling or screwing around and not taking life seriously. I have no idea what a kid like that would look like. Personally, But what happens when you get mad at them, you say, you're always goofing around. You're never serious. You need to be serious. How far do you think you get with a person like that?
Not very.
Nowhere. If you come to a kid like that, or anybody, say, listen, I know you like to be Mr. Funny, and everybody loves you, and it's great, and they'll actually pay money to listen to you ramble at seminars. What an amazing thing. But
can you be serious
Could you be serious for a little bit? Or could we work on it? And usually most people, because they like just the buzz of being acknowledged for who they are, will go, yeah, okay. Or even a little kid, look, I love the fact you like to take charge. It's great. Someday you're going to be a great boss and you'll be real successful in life because you know how to make things happen, that little bossy kid. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but right now, I just need you to listen, okay? So you're going to succeed much more with that kid because even though it'll mess with him, well, Mom said, it's okay to be bossy. Mm-hmm. Someday I'm going to be my own boss and probably make a lot of money. And she's going to want some.
Yeah.
But I need to do this for right now. So, or you can come to that kid and say, you're always so bossy. You always think everybody has to listen to you. And you need to. Well, how far do you think you're going to get with that? So even with your son, you say his perfect nature fights against them and not seeing things. Start by leading with a perfect nature, acknowledging the perfect nature that he has, and then giving him the advice. Or you can even put it in the context of this can be more perfect for them, or how to get it more right. But anyway, generally speaking, acknowledge that in him, and then ask him to look at something else, and you'll find that that'll probably help him a lot. All right, enough of the flag page. Go check it out, flagpage.com. We'll be back with, what do we got, money?
Yeah.
Money. We'll be talking about your money issues right after this break.
Download your free Mark Gungor app today to see all of the latest from the world of Mark Gungor.
Texting during the breaks. We're back, Mark Gungor Show, asking your questions about love, marriage, and relationship. We got some money questions.
No, not money questions, sorry, but just more ways to cut down your spending. Nobody asks us any money questions,
that's not
but we'll give
fun.
some advice. Sorry, cut down on your spending.
Oh, so we're just advising.
Yeah, so just advising.
Advising,
yeah.
not a
we
question.
need more money questions. Please
Okay,
email
send us
us
some
your
money
money
questions.
questions,
All right.
but we're advising during this segment today.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
reduce the number of credit cards that you have. The number of cards.
How does that help?
If you have 2 credit cards and a few store cards, then don't choose one with the best terms, the best interest rate, and then cut them up. I'm sorry, then choose them. Cut the rest up. Sorry, now I just confused you.
That was very helpful.
In 3, 2,
1, let's start
1.
over. When you don't have as many credit cards, you're not using all of them and running up the whole debt thing. You know what I'm saying? So if you have one card, pick the one that has the best rate and this and that, and keep that one and get rid of all of the rest of them. Because
if you have more, you'll want to spread it out and spend more money.
Because I have $1,500 on this, I have $1,500 on this, I have money here and there. But if you have just one, they say that.
Do you know what your limits are on your card?
I don't, because I never use them to the limit.
Okay.
I use what I pay off every month.
So I called my credit card company because I got just really some menial, stupid questions. I mean, it was really, but they start running me through like a gazillion questions. What's your social security number? What's your address? How long have you lived there? I said, I don't know. I said, well, what's the credit limit on your card? I went,
I don't know.
I don't know. Who knows the credit limits on their cards? They felt like I was out of my mind. I should know this.
Well, because people who are living up to that probably do know
I have no idea. That's what I said. I said, I don't know. I just assume the thing I paid off right away. What?
I don't know what it
credit
is.
limit did you give me?
I don't know what it is because I never use it up
Look
to the
on your
limit.
screen. For heaven's sakes. I get so irritated with these people. So, I don't know. It's like $25,000.
Well, I mean, I guess in an emergency, if you had to do that, but why would you
But I
need
guess if
that?
you have like 5-6 cards like that, then people get themselves in trouble. You're giving me
That's what they're
25. I
saying.
go out and buy a car on my credit card?
Mm-hmm.
for only like 15% interest.
Yeah.
What the heck?
Yeah.
And then they keep throwing. Do you know why? Do you know why credit card companies do what they do?
Well, that's how they make the money.
But what's it related to? I've actually
It's the interest.
preached this before.
It's the
I know
interest.
the answer.
There's a spirit. There's a spirit that's been
Slavery.
Slavery.
There you go.
Slavery. There has been a desire of man to enslave other people since mankind has been on the face of this earth. By and large, it was a very institutionalized thing. Now, in modern times, this has been at great cost and of blood and treasure to bring it to an end. But people think, well, just because there was a civil war in America that we finally could. I mean, something was 100 years ago. People were still enslaving people. 150 or whatever it's not. But, well, they literally would take human beings, and I owned you, and you had to do what I said.
Oh my gosh, you think that that's gone away?
Well, that's what I'm thinking. They think because
It's just not
we had
legalized anymore.
Well, there's parts of the world where people still enslave people, and now they talk about slave trade and
Sex
the sex trafficking. It's still a form of slavery. And if you think that the slave thing is a very rare thing today, the spirit of slavery is a rare thing. You are deceived. People want to enslave you. And credit card companies exist because they want to enslave you. It's the spirit of the slave master. We got a new master in town, though. Now it's called MasterCard. That's your master. They will give you stuff. They're not your friends when they give you all this credit. Because now you turn around and now you are literally working for years for them. They enslave you. They give you this thing and then charge you outrageous amounts of interest.
They give you more
said
than 15%. What you can afford to pay back.
That's the good
one. I mean, it's like 19, 20, 21, 22.
Oh, I've seen 27. Now, there's laws, but you still look, you'll see that it goes 27, 29% interest. This is slavery.
Yeah.
I'll give you $1, and now you're going to have to give me back 30% interest on that dollar over time.
Most people, they end for years paying the interest only. They can't even pay down that principal because all they're doing is paying the interest.
And when they say minimum payment due, it's a very small amount. Why? They want you to pay the small amount. You know what they call people like me who pay off their credit cards right away?
I don't know the term.
In the industry. Deadbeats.
Oh, you're the deadbeats.
They literally call people like us who pay off their cards. We're deadbeats to this industry. Why? Because we're deadbeats to an industry that wants slavery. Now, stop and say, they still make money from me. And my company, we travel a lot. We're talking thousands of dollars go through my world every month.
But they're only making the fees that they charge the people that you are buying things from.
Sometimes 3 to 6. I use American Express. One of those 7% hits at these.
Yeah.
That's why some companies don't like using American Express, because it's costing them 6-7% right off the top. So of the thousands of dollars that I spend on air travel and hotels, I got to do just to, now it justifies it because I make much more back when I'm out there traveling. They're making lots of money off of it. But I'm a deadbeat.
Only 7%, even if you're using the Amex.
I know.
They're getting 1% on the people who don't pay.
That's what they want.
Of course that is.
Except American Express, actually. One of the reasons that they do what they do is they don't allow you to go more than 30 days. Okay. But that's how they demand the higher percentage. But then there's still the American Express versions of credit cards. They want you to be enslaved to them. The spirit of slavery, if you think the spirit of slavery is gone because Abraham Lincoln wrote his Emancipation Proclamation, you are delusional.
You're going to say emasculation.
It is emasculation. You think that slavery is done because of that? You're wrong. The spirit of slavery has not ended. It has just got a different face. And I promise you, your greatest threat to being in slavery is credit. Easy credit. Unsecured credit. It's not secure. And that's why they charge the amazing interest that they do and stuff and try to make you go through hell and stuff like that. And then companies get mad because people file bankruptcy and stuff like that. I don't have
to pay it back.
Yeah, but I don't have a problem with people doing to them. It's your fault. That's what you created this slavery. The good news is there's still not legal slavery. There are not debtor prisons. You don't think credit card companies wish we had debtor prisons?
I'm sure they do.
They hate bankruptcy laws, and they're constantly looking for ways to change bank. And some of you are, yes, we should change bank because people shouldn't just walk from their commitments. Really, I'm telling you, when you talk, and I agree with you in premise, but the reason they want to change these laws is they want slavery. And the fact that you can walk from them and turn it in and say, stick it, I'm declaring bankruptcy, they hate with a passion. And they want to change these rules. And they want you to be able to go to prison and stuff like that because they want slavery. You be careful. It says one of the ways that you can avoid spending is cut down your credit card. One of the ways you can avoid spending is to realize what that card is. That card can either be a way to do business and function in life the way I use it, or it is your pathway to slavery, to buy into freely and willingly, turning into the slave trade where you'll work for years and years and years and years and years to give people back stuff. It's just not a good thing. All right, so much for rambling about credit cards this morning. We will come back with a final segment. We got a dating question? Ooh, I love dating questions. We'll see if we can squeeze it in quick. We might run out of time. We'll be back right after this.
Want more of Mark? Visit markgungor.com. There you will find everything that Mark has to offer.
Do I dare let myself sit a while and ponder?
Ponder. The music of Michael O'Brien. Check out his music at michaelo.org. What do you got?
She says, I'm a 14-year-old girl who is very fond of your shows, your sermons, and your opinions. Recently,
sweet girl.
She's found...
I told my wife the other day, I says, there's women who find me very attractive.
Yeah.
They tend to be under 8 or over 80, but they're there.
That's it. Anyway. Recently, she found someone that...
She said you were attractive.
She feels is right for her.
Honestly, she said it. I just reminded me of this conversation I had with your mother. Quiet, I'm being witty.
Okay, so she's 14.
Actually, I'm being spaced out. She's 14.
She found a boy that she thinks is right for her, and she's known him for almost a year now.
Okay.
She sent him some of the dating advice from you. Goes to a private Christian school. She says he's very loyal and very spiritual, but her parents aren't so happy with him. They got the wrong idea about him when they snuck into my room while I was sleeping and invaded my privacy by checking my phone and reading through our messages. They say we're too young and that he's unchristian, yet they haven't even met him. My parents want us to split, but I'm not planning on that yet. She says, I can't imagine myself without him. I don't know what to say or do. Recently, they've been pushing me down. Can you help me?
Yes, I haven't done this in a long time, but you need to get down on your knees, stick your head in the toilet, and give yourself a swirly. For heaven's sakes. 14. They say they have a problem with him. I have a problem with you. You're 14. Stop it. Here's when you start dating. When you start dating, you think within a year, if possible, and it happens, I could get married. You're not getting married at 15. You're not getting married at 16. You're not getting married at 17. You could get married at 18. So I'm all for getting serious with somebody about 17 years of age. Doesn't mean you have to marry someone your day, but it could happen. Because what happens if you really fall in love with somebody and you can't get married? You'll drag it out. You'll drag it out. You'll drag it. Everything in you want to be with this person, and you'll start having sexual sin with that person. When you're 14 and you fall crazy in love, what do you think you're going to do in a year? At 15, what are you going to do about it? You're going to break up with him? No, because you love the boy. Now you're 15, now you're 16, for 2 years, now for 3 years. Pretty soon you're going to wind up getting naked with the boy and have all kinds of problems and all kinds of guilt. You've got no business seriously dating somebody at 14 years of age. Stop it. Good Lord, get a hobby.
And by the way, your parents are not invading your privacy. They're being parents.
You have no privacy. It's not your house.
He's a Capulet. She's a Monty.
They're both crazy. See ya.
Bye-bye, boys.
Have fun storming the castle.